Now, from WBZ Sports, this is Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria.
Welcome, everyone, to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. I'm Steve Burton. Make it 6 straight for the Patriots and 7 wins on the season. 7 wins. Your Patriots not only in first place in the AFC East, they are tied for the best record in the NFL at 7-2. Ernie Adams alongside Chris Fauria join me now. So now they're perfect on the road. 4-0 on the road. Now they got to go to Tampa Bay. They got to face Baker Mayfield and company. Is this their first big test since Buffalo?
It's probably their biggest test. But I'll just address right now the whole issue of soft schedule. Yeah. The players and coaches have absolutely nothing to do with the schedule. It's all set up by formula. And anyone who thinks it's easy to win a game in the National Football League has never been involved with it. These are professional teams, and winning a game is hard. And it's,
even against a soft team?
There are no soft teams.
Oh, there's some soft teams.
There are some teams as the year goes on devolve into total dysfunction. But when you have, it's like they've played some team, a couple of teams who are, you could see it on Sunday. Gave them 60 minutes of good football.
I would say, he's right, but you turn them soft by you start off and you just basically take their desire to live away from them and they just lay down. That's usually how it works with crappy teams. But real quickly, for my answer is yes for the Tampa Bay Bucks. And the reason why has nothing to do with what the Bucks do on offense, is what they do on defense. I think they're similar to Atlanta in a couple ways as far as their speed and their youth. But the one difference is they got Vita Vea up front, who is just a big, he's like an Hawaiian version of Vince Wilfork.
He is what we call a load.
Yeah, he is a load. So is Vince Wilfork. And then you have Levante David, who's a Hall of Fame linebacker, and Antoine Winfield. So they have players. They are smart. You're not going to push them around up front. And they got a linebacker that can make every single play. So to me, I think this is a really big challenge, especially the Bucks coming off the bye week.
Yeah. No question about it. I mean, this is absolutely the best team they've played since Buffalo, and they'll be pushed right to the max. And we'll see, it's a test. Where are you really?
Baker Mayfield, Drake May, both quarterbacks are now in the MVP conversation. Agree? Disagree?
To me, there's so much, the whole MVP thing. I'm not a big. That's more big. In your line of work, it's just going out and playing.
Well, let me ask you this: what makes somebody very important? The most valuable player. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do you need to see?
Okay. Well, the most valuable player, because it always turns out to be the quarterback. Where some, it could be, I like the idea of maybe there could be a defensive player.
Absolutely. But what makes them so special? Like, what do you need to see from them?
Okay.
Do they have to be on a winning team?
It's hard. It's a lot harder. First of all, if you're a quarterback and you're on a bad team, you probably don't have very good pass protection because it is. The passing game, it's a team effort. It's pass protection, it's running routes, and the quarterback is the force multiplier who can help everybody else look good, but everybody else is helping the quarterback.
MVP, you got to dominate the game. You got to change the game. The last defensive player, Lawrence Taylor, to win MVP. Yeah. That's going back, sense. But he changed the game.
Right. Well, for instance, I would say, you want to. We spent a lot of time talking about last year. How can you have the conversation and not talk about, say, Myles Garrett? He's on a bad team, but I'm telling you what, playing him, he will change the game. So if you're really, it's most valuable player, but it's who's. If you had one player in the league to pick to start a team, who's it going to be?
Let me just add this in, kill the MVP talk.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Drake May's in the conversation is amazing. And I'll leave it at that. Like it's amazing. Second year doing what he's doing, and forget about
he's on a rise.
What goes into it, but he's in the conversation. Some people are talking about this guy,
particularly coming, off last year where he showed some things, but he's on a bad team. He's made tremendous progress. The whole team's made tremendous progress. That's why everybody in Boston's interested in them. It's good stuff.
All right. Drake May's been sacked 12 times in the last 2 games. 12 times. How big of a concern is this going forward? He's the second quarterback on the list, besides Cam Ward, to be sacked most in the NFL.
Listen. You never want your quarterback getting hit. You'd much rather be playing the game. I know they play on turf, but with a clean jersey. Like when he's playing against Carolina, I don't think they even breathed on him, at least as I remember the game. So yeah, it's always as your offensive line. You never want to see that.
I will say this: I think we're downplaying this situation. 34 sacks in 9 games. I think we're downplaying
34
it. And
sacks.
I think we all get kind of caught up in just how well the team's playing,
right.
how good he looks,
Yep.
How many points they're scoring. And you forget how often he gets hit and how many times he's in danger, whether he's in the pocket or he's outside of the pocket. I do think the offensive line, doesn't get any, they almost they don't get any blame at all, and they'll blame it on Drake May. I just feel like it's something that they need to absolutely look at as far as, okay, moving forward, we can't let this happen anymore.
I am absolutely certain that every week, out on the practice field, it's a top priority. They work on this stuff, work on getting better. They work on their blitz pickups every week. Like I said, today's Tuesday. Tuesday night, they'll have a protection meeting. What do we need to do to give ourselves the best chances as far as pass protection goes? It's always a huge issue, in the National Football
And again,
League.
This is still they're all new. Everybody's new except Awenu. 4 of the 5 guys are all new. 2 on the left side are rookies. And the center is a free agent, and then the right tackle is a free agent. So I still think they're going to get better, to your point.
Right.
They got to get better.
And that's always, the biggest thing they have. I know it's Christians will tell you it's coach speak, but it's getting better every week.
I know. That's one thing I have learned from you.
Coach speak.
Coach speak.
You speak it well now.
All right, we're going to take a break. We are. We're going to take a break.
He's a good learner.
When we come back, we head to the whiteboard with Coach Ernie to talk about the mic. Who's the mic? You hear the quarterback say that every game. Who's the mic? You're watching Burton Ernie talk football with Fauria. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to our whiteboard segment of Burton Ernie talk football with Fauria. We're talking about the mic. You hear the quarterback say this. Number 56, the mic. He's the mic.
Yeah.
Ernie, what is up with the mic? Why are the quarterbacks always calling out the mic? And why is it the mic anyway? Why is it named Mike?
Why isn't it the Sam?
Okay.
Or the Will?
Okay, because it's standard terminology everywhere in football.
Yeah.
If you have 3 linebackers, the middle linebacker is the Mike, the weak side linebacker is the Will, the strong side linebacker is the Sam. Now, back in the
SMW.
Sam's a jerk, by the way.
Now, back in the old day,
Yeah.
when it was Tom Landry doing it, it was Sarah, Megan, Wanda, and we. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Number
That
53,
is awesome.
Sarah.
That is
Sarah,
awesome.
Megan, Wanda.
Yeah. So
Mike, Will, and
but
Sam
now
now.
Sam, Mike, and Will is standard
That
of
is awesome.
standard football.
Okay.
Okay. And it's now if you want to get offensive coordinator blow a gasket, have a quarterback go out there and forget to do this because it's critical. It's because it's telling everybody else how we're going to block the play, whether it's a run or a pass. Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to add something. It is absolutely, I think you're downplaying it, the most important thing for the offensive line and especially the tight end.
Really?
Okay, absolutely. The receivers, not so much.
To know where the Mike linebacker is.
I can't do my job if I don't know that. I
Are
can't
you
do my
serious?
job. Absolutely.
Yes.
So every play,
Yeah.
the quarterback points out who the mic is.
Right, and the quarterback will have, when you put a play in training camp, you instruct the quarterback, okay, on this play, the mic is going to be the first linebacker to the weak side, and so there is a clear, it depends on what play you're running,
right?
Who you're going to point out. And Christian says, these guys up here, if you can't function. That's why I say
That's unbelievable.
Or if you get it wrong, it screws up everything.
That will get offensive coordinators, including Josh, to blow a gasket. You miss a mic point.
So tell people up here who the mic is.
Okay, so let's just say we've got a play. Let's say we're in gun trips, right?
Right.
And we're 64 protection, and we're going to have a 64 bunker. 64 is the protection, bunker is the pattern. Okay, so in this case, 60s, we've got these people, the tight end have free release. They have no blocking responsibility.
Okay.
So my 5 interior offensive linemen and the back have responsibility.
Okay.
Okay. So in 60 protection, and this is a standard nickel defense.
Yeah.
One linebacker to the left, one that you would probably call 53 is the Mike.
So 53
in this case is the Mike. So which will bring my center strong side. So center, right guard, and right tackle have these 3. The left guard, left tackle, and the back have these 3. Okay. So now you get where it starts getting complicated. You're the quarterback, and you come up and you see the defense moving a little bit, and maybe they're going to run your basic blitz zone to the weak side. So with my safety here is going deep middle, and this safety is going to come down, and he's going to blitz along with the will. And they're going to have this linebacker come middle, and this defensive end will drop back. So what you have here, now this is a problem if you stay with your Mike to the strong side.
Is he still saying 53 is the Mike?
He said 53 is Mike. If he stays with it, the problem is now they got 4 rushers and I only got 3 blockers, which requires then this X end, he's got to understand there's a free rusher. He's got to do a sight adjust and break it off and run a slant.
So he's a hot guy.
Right.
When would you reset the Mike?
So what you're going to do, exactly, you start seeing this safety cheating up a little bit. Maybe this guy's cheating back. You see, well, the real tip-off is this end stands up because he's got to drop. The quarterback, he knows, hey, I got 4 people over here, and I don't need 3 blockers on the right. I need them to the left. So he may go, new Mike 56. So now he'll bring his center over weak side, and now I have the center, the guard, and the tackle blocking, and the halfback. I got 4 blockers for 4 rushes, and now this X, the X probably isn't going to hear the Mike call.
Right.
He's split out to 15 yards. So he'll go new Mike 56. And tell the X to lock the route. You don't have to worry about the blitz because I got 4 blockers over here. So he goes back and they can execute the pattern.
I have a question.
I have a question too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You go first.
Okay. Who should call the Mike? I've been on multiple teams. Sometimes the center calls the Mike. Sometimes the quarterback calls the Mike. Who should call the Mike?
Well, let me put it this way. Kristen, you get down in the center stance. You're down there. Okay? Right. You got your hand on the ball.
Yeah, and I can't see anything.
You can't see it. You're going to see the safety stuck. No way.
No.
The guy who can see it all and should have the best understanding of the whole offense is this guy right here.
Okay, so let me add this. Because I've been on some teams where they don't let the quarterback call the Mike. Why?
You know what? They want to take it off his plate a little bit. They think maybe you got a rookie quarterback and
But he doesn't know.
You know what?
Well, that's a problem if your quarterback doesn't know who the Mike is.
Hey, listen, it happens.
How can you be a quarterback and not know who the Mike is?
You're not going to be
hello, Cam Newton.
You're not going to be a quarterback on a real good team because
not know who the Mike is. But Christian brings up a good point, which was leading to my question. If everybody's down in the stance, okay, and things change, how can the lineman know which side to go, even though 56 may be the Mike or 53 may be the Mike?
Because that's why the quarterback's telling him 56.
But when does the quarterback tell him?
Right away.
Right away. He'll walk up the line. He'll call 53. And his teammate call 53. He sees the new Mike 56. You just tell, hey, I'm changing the Mike point. It's now 56, which is bringing my center this.
I see quarterback's point. Actually point. Brady used to point.
It doesn't matter. We don't care if he knows. It's not a secret. Here's a question for you. How do you find out if they're messing around and they do this schoolyard defense? What can the quarterback do to force them to show their hand?
Okay, and this is where you may go something like double cadence.
Yep.
Blue 80, hut, and sooner now the defense doesn't know if you're snapping the ball or not. They may have to start and they showed their hand.
Yeah.
Now and everybody knows it's that first thing of cadence is blue 80, hut, new Mike 56. Now I just changed the mic, and now they go through the cadence.
So you do a dummy cadence.
A dummy cadence and do the real cadence.
That's good stuff. All right, we got to take a break.
Okay.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, this is
We'll take a look at the coach's challenge. When to challenge, when not to challenge, and how that works. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Whiteboard with Ernie Adams and Christian Fauria. We're talking coach's challenge. When to do it, when not to do it, how much pressure is on the guy that's doing it. Ernie, take it away.
Okay, so the first thing, which is probably going to surprise a lot of people,
Is what?
Is that the coach in the press box, you get a nice big high-definition monitor.
Okay.
But all you get is the network feed. So the coach up in the press box, all he's actually seeing is exactly what every fan is seeing at home.
Delayed or live?
Live.
Live. Okay, so not me at home.
No, I'm getting it on TV in the press box.
The same time?
The same time.
Okay, so we have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, because usually if I'm watching at home, it's on a delay. If you get that live feed, even though it's the same thing, okay.
Okay, so for Bill Belichick.
But the point is, there's no special cameras. You're not the coach. You're not seeing anything that the fan at home isn't seeing.
So you were the guy up in the press box for how many years for Bill?
It was about 21 years.
And he would rely on you.
Yes, because I was the
You're the old Stretch.
Well,
he's the new Ernie.
I was the one person in the stadium who had a high-definition monitor right in front of me. Sometimes they'd put it up on the Jumbotron and Bill could see it. Other times they wouldn't. Now, I mean, an organization like when Mike Shanahan was at the Broncos, my understanding is when he put his right fist up in the air, that meant give it to me on the Jumbotron right now.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. So that's
a lot of nonverbals.
Yes.
Right, but that's he wants to see it on the Jumbotron.
So Bill had direct communication with you, correct?
Yes, we were always whether we were on offense or defense, we each had a button on our phone. We could be on the defensive line when we were on defense, the offensive line when we were on offense.
Okay.
So there was always, and then we had the famous ring down phone if Bill wanted to talk and wasn't particularly interested in
the red phone.
A group,
it's like the presidential phone.
Group conversation. Yeah. So you've got your TV with the feed, just what the fan gets at home. The next thing is that you have to know the rules around challenges and what can be challenged and what can't, backwards and forwards. You have to know what it takes to get a call. For instance, you can, the one thing you can always, whether a runner or receiver is inbounds or out of bounds.
Okay.
Okay. You're not going to get the call on the field stands unless it's clear and obvious visual evidence. You're not going to get a call overturned just because the receiver has his foot right up against the line. You have to see footprint on the white. If you don't see footprint on the white, you're not getting it. Is balls low ball? Was it caught or incomplete? You got to see ball ground. Was the player in control of the ball when it touched the ground? Was he in control of the ball? You get a catch. Was he chasing the ball? It's no catch. Exactly what plays can or cannot be, be reviewed. And there's a list of about 25 situations, that can be reviewed. It's a good thing now, they've taken, scoring plays and turnovers are automatic reviews.
Right?
So in fact, if you throw your red flag on one of those, you're going to get you're going to get charged.
You're wasting your red flag check.
Well, but they'll,
they
can charge you. You can get charged with a timeout, and it's
gotcha.
So you really have to know exactly what you. And there's, for instance, a real interesting call in Sunday's game for the Patriots. There was intentional grounding.
Right.
The ball had been tipped, and Gene Steratore, who's been an official forever, was saying, I've never really seen this, but I think if a pass is tipped on a grounding, you should be able, they should be able to look at it because when the ball is tipped, the quarterback is going to, obviously has no control over where the ball is going to go after it's been tipped.
All right, we got about a minute left.
So we got a time factor, and then, there you go. And then it's it may be the other team may have completed a pass. They called it complete. They're rushing up to the line to get. So you got to be able to make that decision fast.
What was your record for challenges? Do you remember what your record was?
I'm going to guess a little over 50%. Yeah, I'm not
50%. I thought you were going to be 80%.
Yeah, but some of them are really close, and we look at it. But the rule was, and this I hold, and I've talked to guys in the NBA or in baseball. The harder you have to look, the less likely you're going to get overturned. The ones you get overturned, hey, he just missed the call. It's it's right there. If you got maybe kind of sorta. Yeah, your percentage goes way down.
I saw a video where Bill was always talking to you. Ernie, what do we got? Ernie, what do we got? Ernie, what do we got? Tell us what we got.
If he needed, that's your job as a coach in the press box is to give good information to the people on the sideline because you've got a vantage point you can actually see. Down on the sideline, there's a lot of people moving around. You don't have the same perspective. that whole communication thing is really key.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. When we come back, more on Sunday's matchup with the Bucs. Stay with us. All right, Super Bowl 38. You had a touchdown taken away because they didn't challenge, correct?
Yes, but they called it no touchdown, so I thought, assuming that they would challenge it and then say touchdown, but there was a penalty on the play, and that's the first time I've actually been able to talk to Ernie about it. And what was the thought process in that?
You know, it's happening so fast. If I can go down now and slow it down, I would like to have challenged it. Okay, because I think you know.
But what are the two things you said are important? Possession and
points and possession.
Points and possession.
I mean,
now it would be an automatic challenge, but back then it wasn't.
Well, no, it would be an automatic challenge if they had ruled it a touchdown.
Yeah.
Then because it's just another incomplete pass.
But it was clearly a touchdown.
It was caught, feet were in bounds. I remember asking the refs at camp the following summer. They're like, "Of course that was a touchdown." I don't know why those guys didn't challenge it. I was like, because it was first and goal at the 1.
Well,
you see, I'm still upset about it.
Hey, well, listen, Christian, it's only a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say. And guess who had one in that game? Frickin' Vrabel.
Oh, no.
Frickin' Vrabel.
It all comes out.
That's all. It never leaves you.
Hey, speaking of Vrabel, he's got to go to Tampa Bay with his team to take on the Bucs. How do you see this playing out?
Well, this is, it's an exciting game for fans, coaches, and players.
Yeah.
Because you're going up against a good team. The energy level is a little more intense all week during practice. It gets there's nothing like going to play against another good team. To really get the focus. It's that little extra degree of sharpness.
I hear you.
These are fun games.
They're 4-0 on the road. They're perfect on the road so far.
I know. It's going to be a tough one. Talked about the defense a little bit earlier in the show. Offensively, Baker Mayfield is basically Brett Favre. I mean, he's just Brett Favre in a different uniform. He has a flair for the dramatic. The tougher the circumstances, the harder it is. The dude gets it done. Not as much in the last 3 games, but in the start of the season, every single time he was bringing them back. And this was with a ton of injuries.
Prediction, do they win or lose?
I'm a Patriots fan. I'm going to win.
Christian?
Can I save mine for...
no, say it now.
Lose. There, fine. I withhold my right to change my opinion, though. But right now, loss.
Great stuff. Great stuff all the way around. All right, my friends, that is going to do it for this week. Glad you joined us for Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. We're here every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock on TV today. You can find us streaming on CBS News Boston and on our YouTube channel as well. For Ernie Adams and Christopher Fauria, I'm Steve Burton. We'll see you back here next week. See you later.